G'day, it's Jackson here. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for the 30th of October. I just had bowls, so basically just got home. Some of these Thursday ones are probably going to be really late, so sorry about that, but there's not really much I can do. It's penance, so I can't really miss out on that. Now, I don't really feel like I should even have fucking bothered with this video, to be honest. This set is quite honestly one of the shittiest I've seen in a long time. No, I'm not saying that because it's difficult. I'm saying that because, realistically, there are only 2 base game options, and only one of them is really worth doing. This is... Okay, so, Jewelry Crafting, you need Summerset. No other way around it. Antiquities, you need Greymoor. No other way around it. Void Creatures... Okay, so with the Invasion event... There are Void Mothers in some of the public dungeons, the base game ones, but they don't actually count. I've just gone and tested. Those Void Mothers don't actually count for this endeavor. I don't know why. I assume it's a bug, but again, I assume they're just lazy and forgot to code something like that in. The only option for you in base game is this, Void Mother Elgroelif in Infinite Archive. Now let me tell you now, I've done Infinite Archive many times. I think I've only found this boss 3 times, and I've done probably 50 runs to Arc 1. The odds of you getting this boss is really low. You could be there for hours and not get one. That's all you need for 5 Void Creatures, because she will summon things that still count as Void Creatures, but realistically, you can't do this one without it taking, like, sometimes hours. So I'm not going to recommend this. Honestly, if you're playing this on base game, don't even log on for your endeavors. Just fucking play something else. Alright, so firstly, I'll start with completing a duel. This is the only decent base game option you've got. Now you just go up to another player. The hold to interact key will just show up near the health bars at the bottom. You hold that, the interaction wheel will come up here, and dueling is on the left, top left here. Now, the only way to forfeit a duel in the tooltip here is if, when the flag drops down and the duel starts, if you run too far away from that flag, that will count as forfeiting the duel for you. So if somebody else does that, it still counts as you completing the duel, it just won't for them. So either kill them, have them kill you, or have them leave the duel so long as they understand that it's not going to work for them. Just say if they've already done it, you know. Because I feel like that's probably the quickest way to complete a duel. It just doesn't work for whoever does it, unfortunately. Okay, crafting items for jewelry crafting. So you want 4 pewter rings, requiring 8 pewter ounce. That's the cheapest possible thing you can make. And yeah, that'll do the endeavor quickly. But yeah, obviously you need Summerset, otherwise you can't access this one. If you can do writs, that might be good. For example, this Clothier writ, you get 3 ones, they tell you to craft a couple of items. You could just do a few writs across different characters for jewelry crafting, or you could do 1 writ and then just craft a couple of pewter items. Writs are really good to do because they give you surveys and they give you gold quality materials. I mean, jewelry is different, it gives you all the different upgrade materials because you don't have hirelings and stuff. It's a bit different. But yeah, really helpful to do writs. They also count as quests on Sundays and daily quests and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good stuff that you can get from daily writs. So I do suggest doing those if you can. Or master writs too, if you got those. But yeah, only if you can afford that sort of stuff. Go to any guild store to jewelry crafting and then to material. I wouldn't advise buying raw material because it costs way more. Because people refine it for the upgrade materials. Yeah, you might struggle to find some pewter in if you just like search one area. There's a lot of guild stores out there that you can check. So for example, there's like 7 in just Mournhold Deshaan. And yeah, you can just go and find all the different ones. There's there's also 7 in Craglorn, 7 in Grightwood, 7 in Stormhaven. So yeah, just look around and just keep searching until you find some. Alright, another way is to mine some jewelry seams to refine. Now, realistically, you'll need 10 to refine, because yes, you can get between 7 to 10, but if you get 7 and you craft 3 pewter rings, for example, you can deconstruct those and get another one back. Generally, that's what will happen. So what I would do is just maybe use this as well. Drop the volume there. The only issue is, one, some of the nodes that have jewelry around zones will have metal ores instead, and you can't. You do get a couple of Juri dust sometimes from those, but nowhere near as much as regular nodes. Also, the ones that spawn can be in a level that you can't use. So if you can do it on a low-level character who just gets pewter, that could be good. But yeah, just keep in mind some of the ones you won't be able to use. So I'll just let you take a look at this if you want. This is all the blacksmithing and Juri node locations I found in Cragdawn. Didn't. Okay, so now we get to Antiquities. So this one, it's easy to do, but if you haven't done Antiquities before, you basically start with the shittiest setup. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like easier to do once you level up Antiquities a bit more. So what you want to do is firstly come to Antiquarian Circle here in Western Solitude. Sorry, Western Skyrim. Solitude and Western Skyrim. This, you need Greymoor. You can't do this option here until you have Greymoor. Even if you've done ESO plus free trials in the past, you can't access this here unless you have Greymoor. It's fucking annoying, but yeah, that's how this works. So, you need to come to this area here. There'll be a NPC here you can talk to. To complete the quest to unlock scrying and excavating, you just need to start the quest, come over here, interact with this, come over here, and then just talk to her again, and that completes the quest. It gives you another quest that just goes through the basics of how Antiquities work, like how to do scrying and excavating. I suggest you do that because it explains like the fundamentals of it. But if you just want to TLDR, I'll just go through it very quickly. Yeah, in the early stages, it's shit, because as you level up your scrying and excavation, you get this stuff here, which is fucking amazing. These two here, like, once you get these two, the green ones become like a fucking walk in the park. But until then, it's a bit of a fuck around. So what you want to do is find a small zone, something like Balfoyan. Quickest way to get to Balfoyan is using this way shown. You just come down here, grab the Sky Shard while you're here, and then take this door and head through to Balfoyan over here. That's what I recommend. You can also use Bleakrock by using either the boats. Oh yeah, it's just a boat swain for Bleakrock. But yeah, use the boat swain in Stonefalls for Bleakrock, or you can go to Strishvakai and Vetnik, same thing. But these two I think have houses too. You can use for home tours to get there quick. Stuff like that. Yeah, personally, Balfoyan's my favorite because it's got 3 way shines in like pretty good locations. The reason for that is when you scry your item, the dig location is anywhere in the zone. So the less fucking around for wastelands you have to deal with, the better. Oh, here's some Juri dust over there. Might as well grab that while we're here. Okay, so you go to your journal, and you'll always have a green item to scry in every zone. So I suggest you do that, because these require high level in Antiquities, and they're like tougher. You know, blue ones are still easy to do once you level up the skill line, but yeah, just green. It's so much easier. Right, so when you start off, you'll have all these little icons here. What you got to do is link up this here with these swirly things, and each of these is like a fake dig site. Once you get to one of them, it removes it off the thing. So it just, you waste less time essentially if you remove all the dig sites. I would only advise doing the actual dig until all the dig sites are removed, because I find this to be quicker than running around the place trying to find it. Okay, so I'll start here. Some of these can be painful, some of these can be pretty easy. It's completely random usually how they go. There's always a way to do it, but the issue is you only have a certain amount of charges over here, and if you run out, you can't do any more. So you have to basically get all these swirly things before this runs out. Okay, I managed to get everyone except for this one up here. So just to show you what happens if you don't get them all, what it'll do is it'll put 2 dig sites on the map. So you get one here and one here. So these are pretty close, but sometimes they can be on the other sides of the map. And what will happen is you can go to one and dig it up, and it won't give the item that you're looking for. So it just wastes your time. So what you can do is just go back to the journal and just double click on this again and just do the scry again. Now, whether or not you'll be able to do this one just fine is again, I don't know. They're random. So some of these, as I said, they can be really fucking hard to do in one go. But they're random every time, so yeah, the next one might be fun. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so even if you haven't finished it yet, you can just escape here and just redo it. These are fucking shit ones. There we go. That one's way fucking easier. So now you can just press escape once you're done there, and what it'll do is it'll remove the fake dig site here, so you only get the real one. That's why I suggest removing those, because you just don't want to be wasting your time in the wrong one. Alright, now that that's done, we'll go ahead on to do the antiquity. While you're here, what you want to make sure you do once you're in the dig site is you press, you go to your quick spots, go to tools, and get the Antiquarian's Eye and make sure this is on your bar, because this is really fucking helpful. What happens is, as soon as you enter the dig site, you can activate it. It adds like a directional indicator to tell you where the dig is located. Hidden underneath the tree. So once you get to the dig site, is interact with it, you'll go into this part. This is the easy bit. Once you're done the scrying, this is the fucking bit that's easier. So what you do is you click here with the auger, and it's just like a hot and cold thing. So this means it's pretty close. So it'll be in this area here when the white outline's like where the item could be. And it could be like the edge of it. So it could be here, it could be down here, it could be up here, you don't know. So what you want to do now is use process of elimination. So if we go up here, you can only be in this section here now. So it can only be... So if I go down here... Oh, that didn't really help, did it? Maybe it's... It can't be down here, because this one... Ah, yeah, there we go. Alright, found it. So, yeah, once it's green, that's where you know it is, so... And that's it. So once that's dug up, you can now just dig the rest of it up, see if you get like the extra bonus item. But it's not super important, so if you don't get anything, who cares? It's just this main item that matters. So now we've got that. And now what you do is literally just do the same thing a second time. So you go here to the table set, and then you open this up and do it literally a second time. And that's all there is to this one. It's really easy. Now, once you level up, what I would advise you do right now, once you've got Antiquities started, level up your Antiquities until you're level 2, because what will happen is you unlock Scribe's Patience and Coalescence. These two will make this much easier. This gives you an extra turn, so you, that like little hourglass thing, it has one extra go before you run out of like things or dig sites to find. So it just gives you more margin for error. And Coalescence is honestly a fucking game changer. So let me show you what happens if you use these now. I think you need to get a total of 8 to unlock that. And once you got it, it's so much fucking easier. So firstly, this thing here, we get an extra go. Like, oh, look at that fucking one. Wish I got that the first time. But Coalescence, right? So see this amazing spot here. If I use Coalescence, it turns whatever's in the middle of this hexagon into the same shape. So this one here, if I do it here, now instead of just going to this one, we also make it go to this one. And now we get another go of Coalescence. Once you unlock 2 of these, you get an extra charge of Coalescence. So you can just fucking use it again. So if we connect all these ones here, like, look how much fucking easier it gets once you've got Coalescence, man. It's great. So now we got the next dig site. You just go over there and do literally the same thing. And that's the Antiquities option. Now, word of warning. There are endeavors that come up that require you to excavate purple or gold quality Antiquities, and they do show up as dailies. They're honestly one of the worst options, because at least this one just requires you to own the DLC and start it. Doing purple or gold quality ones, it takes like hours of leveling up your Antiquities to get to that option. So yeah, I just want to warn people, they do show up. They have shown up in the past, and yeah, it can be rough getting a purple one, let alone doing them. Okay, next option. Okay, so now moving on to Void Creatures. There's only 4 things that work for this. Dromothra don't count. The only things that do are Void Mothers, Shades, Shade Colossus, and Void Rot, they're called. Now, there's only 2 places you can find these things. They're both paid DLCs, so unfortunately, yeah. You can use Infinite Archive, but again, wouldn't realistically use that as a good option. So, Arcsand Great Lift. What you're doing is you are heading to Arkstand here, and you're heading to Library of Arkstand. I'm just showing you the quickest way to get here. You can use this wayshrine down here, or you can use this wayshrine that you start with in Markarth. You go north here, up this road, and you'll get to the Library of Arkstand that way. Alright, so here's the lift for Arkstand, and that will take you into Blackreach. This basically puts you right next to the library, so let's just come out here, turn right, up these stairs, and that's the library there. So this is where you'll find a good chunk of your void creatures, but the problem is this is usually where everybody else finds their good chunk of their void creatures. So the odds of there being stuff alive long enough for you to kill them is, yeah, it's pretty low. Now there's a Void Colossus that spawns here, and yeah, you just keep traveling through, and stuff will just spawn in just like groups of 2 or 1. I'm just, yeah, like, just running through here, everything's dead. So, trying to rely on this one, it can be very slow, just because the stuff that you want to kill is just already dead. And by the time it spawns, usually it's like, gets killed straight away. So here's one. Now, if you can, just, like, wait a sec to kill it. Just check if anyone else is coming up to kill it too. So that way other people can just, like, get a hit in. Because you don't have to kill this for it to work. You just have to have done a bit of damage to them. I'm just going to slowly hurt it. Hopefully someone sees it. Nope. Alright. Yeah, you get the point there. So just kill those guys there. Over time, you'll get your void creatures done. Another option for you, for void creatures, is Force Goal Lookout. This is where a Void Mother spawns. So you can use this option because the Void Mother will spawn other stuff that counts the shade creatures, or void creatures, sorry. They spawn shades and stuff. So this is another possible option, but as you can see here, you can be waiting some time for it to spawn, and if there's too many people, the boss might not spawn enough stuff for it to count. So yeah, maybe you could kill this, kill the couple of things that spawn, and then maybe go down to one of the other options and do that. So yeah, Force Goal Lookout here. Probably go down this way, get this wayshrine, and then come up here, just so you've got easy access in the future. But I mean, it's not much effort getting from here to here, is there? You just go over here, over the river, up the road here, and that's it. There's one more option. If you have the Necrom DLC, and you have access to the Apocrypha Zone, there is also this this delve here called the Disquiet Study. Alright, so this is the Disquiet Study. My advice to you is you only want to look at this area here, especially this little spot here. This is very important. If we come through here, yeah, that's what you're looking for, one of these things here. So, just checking, yeah, there's one there. So there's a Shade Void Hurler there, got a Void Hurler there. The best option you have available to you is this bad boy over here. This is perfect. This, if you see this guy right here and there's nobody around, consider this fucking payday. Because what you can do is you can leave this guy alive and he will summon Void Rots, and these count. What you can do is just quickly kill these Void Rots, get him out of this fucking, out of your AoEs there. I shouldn't use that, sorry. Now what I can do though, is I can just leave and let him live, and now other people have the choice or the ability to just come over here and do the same thing. Over here, again, don't kill it if you can. Honestly, other people here, they don't know about that, so they just go in and fucking kill it. So honestly, it probably doesn't make much of a difference, because everybody else just fucking butchers them as soon as they see them. So, yeah, if you want to help other people, do that, but just, yeah, don't think too heavily on it. Yeah, there's about 10 void creatures in here, so that's your other option there. And yeah, obviously you can get Void Mother Elgroelif, which is the boss in Markarth, at that world boss. You can get her in Infinite Archive. That is the only void creature in that entire place. So yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Now, Zenimax, on the incredibly infinitely small chance that you're listening, please, for the fucking love of God, if you're gonna do this when you have 3 fun, like, realistically DLC options, just fucking make void creatures Dromothra as well. They don't count as anything else. They are from the void, if you go to more of Locage and listen to the voice lines, the Dromatha literally say, "Behold the power of the fucking void." So make these things fucking void creatures and fucking liberate us from having to use these stupid fucking void shades and shit that get killed by players constantly. And just give us another fucking option. Yes, I know there's worse ones. Stone Action Arcs don't even get me fucking started. But void creatures are just as fucking bad as far as I'm concerned. Okay, last option. Spending 2,000 archival fortunes in the Infinite Archive. So this is very quick to do, but to prepare for is a nightmare. Well, as far as like not spending a lot of time in its own endeavors does. So to complete this endeavor, you just need to either buy one of these packs here for 2,000 fortunes, or go here and buy one of these unidentified sets here. Because if I just go, I'll just go Firebrand, whatever. Buy that. That's the endeavor done. Very quick. So you can just do that. But the problem is, let me show you how much effort you have to go to actually get 2,000 fortunes, because it takes a while. If you don't have 2,000, like, you're gonna have to do this. There's no way to actually... You can't buy them from other players. There are coffers you can get them from, but in order to get the coffers, you need to do a lot of Infinite Archives. So let me show you. So the way Infinite Archive works is you get stages, and then you get cycles. Oops, used it many times there. So this here is a stage. This comes between the cycles, which you get your fortunes from. So stages are groups of little enemies. You can get all sorts of stuff. Unfortunately, you can't get void creatures. It's only the actual bosses you get it from. You can get all sorts of other shit. There's like dungeon enemies, zone enemies, overland enemies, trial enemies, you know, all sorts of stuff. Like Dreadhorn fucking Minotaurs. These aren't as bad as the fucking Warbreaker ones, so those are fucked. But they don't have their ridiculous heavy attacks like they do in Fog-Wreathed. So that's one stage. So we have to do that again. Augmented Areas is a pretty good verse. So these, it's just like powerful buffs you get for completing stages. They last until the next stage or cycle is done. Some of these can be really good, really helpful. Some of them can be quite terrible. I would advise going for the damaged ones early on, because you don't really need a lot of survivability in here. But it's your call. Alright. Vanguards, just make sure you interrupt them whenever they do their channeled attack. Because if they get it... if they do their channeled attack, it fucking makes them really tanky. They're low priority because they don't do much other than that, but it just means it takes ages to kill them. You don't want your endeavors taking ages. Oh my god, that fucking snare. It's ridiculous. Alright, so every third wave, you get one of these bigger dudes. You normally focus the little guys first. Okay, so if you attack this guy when he's red and got his shield up, it'll do like a reflect attack at you. So to stop that, just block it. Yeah, it's the second round. No damage ones. Yeah, that's alright. Alright, now that the two stages are done, we get a boss. So this is a cycle. This is just a cycle boss. So you'll just get any boss that comes from previous stuff. So this is the boss that comes from Banished Souls 1. It's the first main boss. Now that was very quick because I got a pretty high-end build here. This is like something you'd use in endgame content. But that's one boss. Now we get the reanimate chests, and we get 200 fortunes from that. So you're going to have to do that 4 more times, because you've got the 3 more cycle bosses, and then you've got Thoat, and that'll be... So you get 200 per boss, so that'll be 1,000, and then you complete the quest when you defeat Thoat, that's 500. So at that point you've got 1,500. That will probably take you 40 or 30 minutes. And then you have to go further into Arc 2 and complete... You get 300 fortunes per cycle boss there, so you'll still need to do 2 more cycles. So, I mean, yes, you've also got the unknown like minigame things, but here's the problem with those. If you've done Infinite Archive on a certain character and you've done those minigames in the past, they get harder and harder on that character as you complete more and more. So if you get to one of the harder ones and it's like not reliably something you can just do, you can't get the fortunes from there. So you can't really rely on that all the time. You've also got the Pilferer, who again, not reliable. It doesn't show up very often. So yeah, you could get lucky and get 2,000 faster here, but realistically, it's probably going to take you no less than 30 minutes to do this. And 30 minutes for a single 15 steel endeavor is fucking unacceptable. That's why I'm like, just log off. If your base game and you don't have any of these options here, just fucking log off. Just don't even bother with this shit. Because honestly, this is not what daily endeavors should be. It should just be simple shit. Simple shit that's like base game, and simple shit that you just got more choices. Like void creatures just being these 4 types and not other shit that does actually count as void creatures. Again, not acceptable. When I see that shit, like you should not be, especially right with this whole new world shit. That MMO is basically dying. Amazon have basically killed it with their announcement. A lot of people are going to be coming over from New World here, and what's this telling people, right? It's saying, oh, make sure you've got the DLCs, because if you don't, looks like you're going to have to fucking get your mounts through gambling instead, peasants. That's all I see from this. And I didn't fucking start playing this game for that nonsense. I started in 2014 when fucking gambling wasn't even a thing back then. Sorry, I'm rambling on. Look, I've done the Infinite Archive full run up to Thoat on the weekly. If you want to see, like, I've gone through the mechanics of that, and yeah, if you want help with that stuff, or you can also comment. But yeah, just check the weekly if you want, like the actual mechanics with Thoat, because she's honestly like one of the hardest bits here. What I will go through is if you want to reset Infinite Archive, maybe if you got to Arc, you've finished the first Arc and you just don't want to go to Arc 2, because you get Marauders, which are fucking painful to deal with. What you do is you go to the next stage, and instead of starting up going through the circle, just go to the index here and travel here. When you leave, you'll get this hourglass over here, and when you interact with the hourglass, it will reset the instance from the beginning. So you can use this to reset everything. So that way you don't have to deal with all the fucking tougher enemies like the Marauders and shit. You also get cycle bosses sometimes that can be an absolute nightmare. For those instances, it also might be really good, because like for the Celestial Warrior, for example, I hate dealing with that guy, because it's just, if you have too much damage, he becomes like very, very difficult to deal with, because he spawns all his ads based on % health. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions, yeah, just give me a holler, and yeah, do check out the weekly video if you need help with the Thoat stuff as well, because yeah, I've gone through that fight. If you can bring a companion, it might be helpful too, especially if they're ranged, because they'll not stand in as many AoEs. But tanks can be good too. Alright. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. See you next time. Take care for now.